About this time there lived Jesus, a wise man, if indeed one ought to call him a man. For he was one who performed surprising deeds, and was a teacher of such people as accept the truth gladly. He won over many Jews and many of the Greeks. He was the Messiah. And when, upon the accusation of the principal men among us, Pilate had condemned him to a cross, those who had first come to love him did not cease. He appeared to them spending a third day restored to life, for the prophets of God had foretold these things and 1,000 other marvels about him. And the tribe of the Christians, so called after him, has still to this day not disappeared. Nero fastened the guilt, and inflicted the most exquisite tortures on a class hated for their abominations, called Christians by the populace. Christus, from whom the name had its origin, suffered the extreme penalty during the reign of Tiberius at the hands of one of our procurators, Pontius Pilatus, and a most mischievous superstition, thus checked for the moment, again broke out not only in Judea, the first source of the evil, but even in Rome, where all things hideous and shameful from every part of the world find their center and become popular. It was now that he came across the priests and scribes of the 11 Christians, in Palestine, and picked up their queer creed. I can tell you, he pretty soon convinced them of his superiority, prophet, elder, ruler of the synagogue. He was everything at once, expounded their books, commented on them, wrote books himself. They took him for a god, accepted his laws, and declared him their president. The Christians, you know, worship a man to this day. The distinguished personage who introduced their novel rites, and was crucified on that account. On the eve of the Passover, Yeshua the Nazarene was hanged. For 40 days, before the execution took place, a herald went forth and cried, "Yeshua the Nazarene is going forth, to be stoned because he has practiced sorcery, and enticed Israel to apostasy. Anyone, who can say anything in his favor, let him come forward and plead on his behalf." But since nothing was brought forward in his favor, he was hanged on the eve of the Passover. Allah retorted, "Do you suppose that he was one for whom a defense could be made? Was he not Mzith, enticer, concerning whom Scripture says, 'Neither shalt thou spare, neither shalt thou conceal him'? With Yeshua the Nazarene, however, it was different, for he was connected with the government, or royalty, that is, influential,